I haven't actually gone live on YouTube in ages. So why not? I think I'm gonna hang out here. If nobody shows up here, then I'm gonna go hang out on TikTok. Um, but how is everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good time. Again, as I said, I don't really do lives on here that often. I'm an airline instructor. If you're new here, I teach in the Airbus A320. I also am, I don't know, what else do I need to tell y'all? I'm also just a regular old instructor, seaplane pilot. Currently trying to get my medical certificate back. I've kind of been working on that for a while now. It doesn't actually look like anybody's going to show up here, so we might just head elsewhere. We might run the TikTok. So I'm going to hang out here for like a minute or two. It doesn't look like anybody's actually showing up. But we recommend. Oh, what's up, Aiden? Dan? Aiden. I'm not sure. How's your night going? Just seaplane Maine. Passed my check ride because of you. That is awesome. Congratulations. I am happy for you. Passed my check ride. Thanks for the prep check ride. Awesome. Well, congratulations. What's up, Logan? And I'm not sure what seaplane Maine means, but I guess I do main a seaplane, like I main. I can't think of it, like Titans on Destiny. I don't know. Like that's my main loadout. I don't know. But how's everybody doing tonight? Congratulations to anybody who has passed their check ride. Also passed my PPL. Thanks for the prep. Awesome. Congratulations. How does one become a DPE? They seem cool. So actually, you just apply to the FAA. I forget exactly what the requirements are. I guess I have a computer right here. I can look it up. But it's like 2,000 hours of instruction. You got to sign so many people off. DPE requirements. So what is it? Designated pilot examiner. Yeah, what is it required to be a DPE? So what I'm seeing right off the top, you got to be at least 23 years old, have at least 2,000 hours of pilot and command time, hold an active flight instructor, maintain a valid third class, and have given at least 500 hours of dual instruction. Requirements to be a DPE. Yeah, and then you got to take some courses, right? Flight experience. Application. So yeah, there's the designee management system the FAA puts out. Required documents, qualifications, valid flight certificate. You need to have a minimum of 2,000 hours of pilot and command. Instructional experience along with flight experience. You also need instructional experience that provides dual instruction, conducting practical tests for pilot certifications, medical certificate, and you got to pass a background check. So yeah, that's what it takes. I saw your plane today at Albert Whitted. That thing is really nice. Keep your IFR vids. You did not see my airplane at Albert Whitted. It has never been there. You might have seen a lake there, but not my lake. Okay, my lake is in a hangar at home. Did I get my medical situation figured out yet? No, I have not gotten my medical situation figured out yet. I have finished like the packet that needs to be done. I should be hearing back from my HIMSS AME soon. He should be finishing up the packet to send off to the FAA. Hey, I know it's a little weird, but if y'all want to like drop some likes, get some more people here, hit that share button, right? The more questions, the better this is. But no, I didn't get my medical figured out yet. From now on, like what's next is a packet is going to go off to the FAA, and it's going to take 6 to 9 months for the FAA to respond. Every doctor I have talked to, every doctor that the FAA has made me go talk to, has all said, I am good to go. Put me back in the game, coach. I just have to wait on the FAA now. That's it. That is my last step. It kind of sucks that it's going to take 6 to 9 months, but there's not really anything else I can do. All good questions, though. All good questions. What is the most common pet peeve DPEs have with students? Not reading the ACS is a pretty good pet peeve, and blaming their instructor for not teaching them something. Um, Hoping you can get that figured out soon. It looks like your sim instructor. So does that count towards currency? Yes, I have maintained my Airbus currency. I still have I haven't dropped out of my instrument currency. I am still completely current. I am still good to land multi-engine airplanes. Still good for instrument training. Yeah, saw you liked my comment on a mock check ride video about the altimeter and static system for IFR. What do you only? I gotta look at the reg. You're probably right. I didn't look at the reg yet. You told me on Instagram to rethink aviation if I don't want the vaccine. I'm scared of that thing. Here's the thing. There are people that are at risk, that are at a greater risk for receiving any and all vaccines, whether it be COVID, flu, HPV, shingles. That there are people that are at risk. If you are a safe and healthy individual, there is no vaccine that's currently out there that should cause you risk. If you aren't a safe and healthy individual, then yes, of course, evaluate on whether or not you should be taking a vaccine, no matter the vaccine. Genuine question, what do I do as a career? Cry myself to sleep every night, hoping that my career isn't over because of my medical. No, I'm kidding. This right now, me teaching in the full motion sim and content creation, that is my career. Also being a sugar baby because my wife makes so much money. Sorry. But I mean, I would hope that I could eventually be like the seaplane version of Trent Palmer with a little bit of instruction on the side. Well, thank you, Little Light. Thank you, Little Light. Genuine question. Oh yeah, what do I do as a career? I'm hoping content creation. I know I've got like almost 5,000 here on YouTube, 118,000 on TikTok, and 24,000 on Instagram. YouTube seems to be the way that I could make that a reality. Like YouTube via ad revenue could make a comfortable living. Once I get my medical back, expect a lot more seaplane videos. I expect a lot more of me flying out to help people, to train people, to work with people. That's kind of the long-term goal. So let's talk about Cheese Pilot Phase 1. Current Phase 1 is right where we're at, where I am doing mock check rides, where I am teaching online, I'm teaching in the full motion sim, and I'm doing my best to come up with content with all of it, right? I can also go hop in my airplane, but I have to have another pilot there to act as pilot in command. So that is like Cheese Pilot Phase 1. Phase 2 would be I get my medical back, and then I can start I can start doing more like seaplane adventure videos. And I'm talking about like going fucking everywhere. All right, being the as I said, the seaplane version of Trent Palmer. And that's going to require me to eventually build up a team. Like, let's be honest, Trent Palmer has a team of photographers, videographers, and other aircraft and drones and whatnot that are following him around, and that's how he can get these good shots. I need some more interesting scripts. I need to get this noggin going on the creativity. I got a little raccoon book that has a bunch of my ideas in it. But so that's kind of like phase 2, and phase 3 is to upgrade to a bigger seaplane. Awesome, love the vids. I appreciate you working on them. I take my private pilot in less than 2 weeks into DA40. Well, congratulations, good luck. Let us know how it goes. Is it scary landing in the water compared to a hard surface? It can be. So water landings. So let's talk about land landing. Let's build a context. Let's talk about what hopefully most of y'all know and understand. A land landing, I have an aiming point. I have solid things that don't move that I can reference on whether or not my approach is going well. When it comes to a water landing, I don't have a lot of that stuff. I can try to pick like a section of water, but if the water's really smooth, if it's glassy, once I get below kind of visual reference of like trees and stuff like that, it can get really dangerous because I lose all depth perception. If I still have rough water, if I have rough or ripply water, I still have some depth perception, but I don't have those aiming points and marks that I would have on a land landing. So when it comes to water landings, can it be scary? Yes, it can be absolutely terrifying. But I wouldn't necessarily say with the appropriate training, it's about the same. Um, Now, located in Wisconsin and just purchased Cherokee 180, flew it home from Cali with my CFI. Should be solo tomorrow. Want to do one of your mock check rides for fun and practice? Sure. All the details are up at trainingwithcheese.com when it comes to the mock check rides. I am super busy this month of September, so you might not be able to book anything for a while. I teach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different. I teach 7 different ATP CTP level courses this year. Where's that sound coming from? Oh, why is there music playing on my phone, on my laptop? Do I remember my discovery flight? Yeah, it was ages ago. It was in like a Cessna 172, I think. What did the name Cheese Pilot come from? I'm a pilot in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin, cheese, right? Currently doing school at GRB. Should swing by the FBO, where us guys are training out of sometimes. So I have, and they ignore me. I tried to go buy a sectional from them like 2 weeks ago, and I just kind of sat there trying to get anyone to acknowledge my existence, and they didn't. So kind of weird. Commercial pilot check ride coming up. Well, good luck. Your mock check rides helped me pass my private pilot past weekend. Keep up the great vids. That is awesome. Congratulations, Nick. Congratulations. Are you working on instrument now? Are you heading on to another certificate, or is private pilot all you're going to do? Oh man, you've helped me so much. About to finish instrument. I couldn't have done it without you. Aw. I'll be making a fat donation when I start getting paid. Well, you don't have to do all that, but I do appreciate it. That is awesome that you've gotten to where you're going, and I'm happy that my videos have helped. That's kind of the end goal. I'm hoping for ad revenue to pay me, not y'all, but it as opposed to a donation or anything like that. Buy some merch. All right, hats like this. There's other stuff with Cheese Pilot on it, right? I'd rather you buy merch and me make no money off of that, because like the prices that y'all see for the merch, I make like $1 on that shit. So I'd rather you go buy merch and like share your experience than pay me money, right? I just want to tell you how much mock check rides have helped me. I'm a student pilot with ADHD and have fought like crazy to get my medical cleared. Wish you the best getting yours resolved. Well, congratulations. Check rides in about a month. Good luck, man. I would love to be a DPE. I got to get my medical back. I got the Meepo board because of your video. Well, that is awesome. Those Meepo boards are pretty snazzy. Busy is good, no worries. Since I'm from Wisconsin, would enjoy flying with you someday. Your vids have been great, and have even stumped my CFI on some of your stuff I learned. Well, that is awesome. I mean, I live up in Door County, Wisconsin. This isn't like set in stone just yet, but October 19th, Door County Airport, pancake fly-in, $8 a plate. Okay, be on the lookout for the flyer. Once you see the flyer posted up on all the social, then it's like for sure gonna happen. But I guess since you're here, you get a little sneak preview. October 19th, Sturgeon Bay Airport, KSUE. Show up and I'll be flipping pancakes. $8 a plate. It's to support the local EAA chapter. Thank you for the check ride videos. I have mine in a month. Congratulations. Good luck. Do you need a first class to be a DPE? No, you only need a third class. Howdy, IFR student here. Check ride at the end of the month. Thanks for the videos. Well, thanks for showing up. Thanks for the comments. Drop some likes if you don't mind. I'm waiting for my PPL check ride. Any tips besides watching your videos? Yeah, go talk to other people. Go verbalize your answers. All right. Just go talk about the training that's required, right? Open up the ACS and talk to somebody about that subject.
A lot of what I've noticed in a lot of check rides, a lot of mock check rides, a lot of stage checks, is students have the knowledge. It just takes a little bit to get the words out of them, because the check ride is literally the first time they have verbalized answers. They have let words fall out of their mouth that is the answers to the questions being asked. So go have a conversation about the required items in the ACS. Oh heck yeah. We'll see you in my dumpy 180 on the 18th. 19th, not 18th, 19th. Do you get scared at high altitude? I maxed in fear at 5,000. I'm not sure what you mean by I maxed in fear, but I would rather be at 10,000 than 2,000. Because at 10,000, I have options when it comes to an emergency. At 2,000, I don't have as many options. Hopefully I'll have my PPL by then so I can fly out. Well, that would be awesome. Yep. Talk to your CFI and go through the ACS with them. I wouldn't even necessarily say talk to your CFI, right? Sure, you can talk to your CFI you can talk to your CFI about it too. What I like doing, because when you do it with a CFI might kind of break up your thoughts, right? If you talk to just somebody, you can just kind of run with a flow of thoughts, and it'll help you maybe word your answers a little better. But yeah, I was scared as heck at max fear at 5,000. Now, here's the thing. I'd rather be at higher altitudes. Sure, when you start getting up to like 20,000, 30,000 feet, then you're like, hey, like if a pressurization problem happened, I'd be concerned. But that's why we rely on our emergency equipment, right? That's why we train on how to use the masks. That's why we train on, how to get the aircraft down in a safe time frame, with the appropriate oxygen, stuff like that. So no, I don't get afraid of heights. I also used to like rock climb and stuff. So like, there's not really like heights, whatever. I'm in an airplane. I'll be fine. That fly in on my birthday. Oh yeah, so you're saying fly-ins on your birthday. So yes, so that fly-in's not like set in stone. So just be on the lookout for the flyer. I will share the flyer when I kind of got like the final go ahead. So far, it's gonna be like cash only. Finally got my check ride booked. Everything is backed up. Thanks for the videos. Well, congratulations. Good luck on your check ride. Higher you are, the longer you have to glide in the event of an engine failure. Exactly. The longer you have to figure stuff out. I have had engine failures at 3,000 AGL, at 1,500, well, at like 500 AGL, and 80 AGL. I much preferred the one at 3,000 AGL than the one at 80. So yeah, higher altitude. Life, or what you call it? Airspeed is life, and altitude is life insurance. That's like a little adage. No. That one at 80, that was the only one that ended up in the dirt. Every other engine failure ended up back on pavement. The one at 80, I ended up putting it in the dirt. Wasn't my airplane. It was actually the FAA safety examiners, or the FAA safety inspector, like that guy from San Antonio, Texas. His airplane. I was gonna go buy his airplane, and his airplane had an engine failure at 80 feet. He wanted to try and whip it back around for the impossible turn. I said, yeah, fuck that, and I put it
behind us was 60-foot trees. If I were to let him try to whip it back around with an impossible turn, we would have ended up in the trees. So my other engine failures aren't that really eventful. I lost an engine in an RV-14. I think it was an RV-14. It was an RV-14, and what ended up happening is like that somebody installed a fuel check valve backwards, and we ended up just losing fuel. We ended up just losing fuel pressure, and the engine died. We dove, hit the starter, cranked the fuel pump, and we got the engine back. Then my last one, it was just a fuel starvation problem from high altitude. Or not fuel starvation, a fuel flooding problem from high altitude and a malfunctioning fuel air control valve on final approach into an airport at night. Yeah, we were definitely lucky that we avoided all obstacles. There was a house, but it was a farm field, so there was a farmer's house right there. But yeah, I mean, we were definitely lucky. But if he would have tried to pull it around for the pattern, it would definitely been a stall, spin, crash, burn, die. Stall, spin, crash, burn, die. But yeah, yeah, 80 knot or 80 feet. No, no. I want nothing to do with that ever again. All good questions though. All good questions. Anybody got anything else? These lives are only as interesting as the questions are. Um, I talk about the engine failures. I don't really have a whole lot more to talk about. I'm just going to be entirely frank. I taught the ATP CTP course today, where we did just basic stuff like overview of the autopilot. I only flew a Cessna 150, upgrading to a Piper Glass. So hyped! That is awesome. Pipers, they don't have a glide ratio. It's pretty funny. People make the joke that if you do have an engine failure in a Piper, to go to best glide, drop a brick out the window and follow it. Um, and you'll still beat the brick to the ground. But it makes your short field landings real easy because you just pull power and the airplane goes and touches down. Cessna 150, on the other hand, it floats. I don't know. It's up to you. Some people prefer it. I just think it's a little ridiculous to have a super expensive, really nice airplane and then only put one door on it. I just figured out I can't change my oil as a student pilot. Any thoughts of that? Well, I mean, as a student pilot, you shouldn't be changing your own oil. I mean, it's not really a good idea. Private pilots are required. You're required to have at the very least a private pilot certificate to work to do preventative maintenance on a certified aircraft. And I think with a sport pilot or an LSA certificate, like you can work on an LSA. But I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, most students don't understand how to do an oil change. Most students don't understand, that you need to cut the oil filter open and look for particulates. Most students don't understand what kind of oil you should be doing. Yeah, you don't have to slip to land a Piper. You will come down. You pull the power out of it, it will come down. Same thing as my airplane. My Lake 200, power comes out, you're going down. You are going down. First time my wife flew in it, she thought we were going to die because I pulled the power out and it went down. I got to go watch Sporties. God bless, brother. All right, man. Good luck. Did my pre-license yesterday and struggled with a bit of partial power loss. Well, that's not great. Do you mean like you struggled dealing with it, or like the airplane had some partial power loss? Either way, like that's not good. I definitely I don't like it when airplanes lose power. Tell me more about it, and we'll talk about it. Tell me more about it, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, good luck on the sporty stuff. I prefer working with an instructor over a ground school, but if you are going to use a ground school, Pilot Institute is an option, right? Okay, so what do you mean by decision-making wise? Like, what happened? Tell us about it. I'm an ASE certified mechanic with 5 years experience, so an oil change on my 180 is super simple, but the hassle is still to get my PPL. Yeah, I had a number of ASE certifications. I've let them expire. I used to build race cars. I used to build like air-cooled Volkswagen kind of race cars. And I what I would give to have an AMP certificate, so I don't have to worry about paying someone to work on my airplane. What does ashless dispersant mean? I forget. I can Google it though. Let's talk about it. Ashless dispersant. Ashless dispersant oils are mineral oils with an additive that helps scavenge debris and carry it to the filter screen. This is important for aircraft engines, which are subject to relatively high wear exposure to combustion acids and contaminants that get past the cylinder rings and valves. Ashless dispersants prevent metallic deposit from forming in the engines, which can cause pre-ignition catastrophic damage to the engine. Ashless dispersion formulation minimizes the formation of engine sludge, varnish on pistons, deposits and combustions in the chamber, and deposits and combustion chamber deposits. Results in a much cleaner engine compared to the use of straight non-dispersive mineral oils. That's what it means. Any IFR tips? It's overwhelming at the moment. Take a breath. Take a breath, calm down, and just try to. Humans work well on stories and structure. And the problem that you're probably running into when it comes to SIDS and stars and in-route structure is where a lot of people feel like it's really overwhelming because they don't do them in their training environment. So the best way to think of an instrument is you are on the ground. When you are on the ground, it is like you are at your home. Okay. Then you do a SID. A SID is a standard instrument departure, or an ODP. It's an obstacle departure. What that is that is the streets to the highway. Okay. That is the little side streets. That's your neighborhood, all getting you from your house to the highway. That is what a SID or an ODP is for. Is to get you from the airport to the en-route structure. The en-route structure is things like Tango Airways, Victor Airways, Q routes, jet routes, stuff like that. Those are all the highways. Those are all the highways that are taking you from your neighborhood and side streets that took you from your house. So from your house, neighborhood, side streets, to your highways, which are now your routes. Then when you're on your highways, you take your exits, which are like waypoints and stuff like that. And usually one of those waypoints is associated with a star. And that star is now the side streets that eventually take you to your destination, whether it be work, Chili's, Quick Trip, what have you. Okay? Now, the approach is you navigating the parking lot. Does that all make sense? And now that we've built it as a story, it's really easy to understand the point of all of these different things. Any other questions? Don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Humans are, what I have learned from teaching is humans are good at learning stories. Humans are good at learning, well, as I said, they're really good at learning stories. So if I can build this training exercise in something that you could turn into a story, and then I give you food at the end, you are gonna fucking remember that. Right? Humans understand stories that take them to food. That is, why do you think I've gotten so fat? Because I have learned a lot. Every time I learn something new, I eat a cookie, so I remember it. Why do you think I've gotten so fat? No, I joke. Oh, God. Yes, visualize it through a story. I learned that from, to be honest, I've learned it through Sherlock Holmes. We're not. All good questions, though. Anybody else got anything? I'm just playing here with my GoPro clamping mount. And I was making videos, but then I got tired of my laptop being stupid. Because I did take a bunch of videos from the simulator, and I'm actually going to make a little video on how to load the FMS, in an A320, so that you can take it into like Microsoft Flight Sim and load it, right? Now, anytime I am teaching tips for being better at holds, get better avionics. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, that was kind of a dick thing to say. Realize that the entry into the hold doesn't fucking matter. Sure, there's recommended entries into the hold. There is no requirement for you to do a parallel versus a teardrop versus a what have you. So if it makes you more comfortable to go to the fix and then fly outbound on the inbound course and then just do a fucking parallel entry, just do that. You'll never be wrong. Okay? But when it comes to the actual hold itself, what you need to do is on your inbound leg, time it. right? So if I'm on my inbound leg and it takes me 1 minute to go inbound, that means I need to go 1 minute outbound, right? If I have a 1 degree deflection to the left on my inbound leg, I need to triple that on my outbound leg because I don't make any wind corrections during my turns. Okay? So let's say it took us 1 minute and 30 seconds to accomplish our inbound leg. Now I need to go outbound for 30 seconds so that my inbound will be 1 minute. A little confused on the relationship between RMP, RNAV, and PBN. So PBN, performance-based navigation, is the architecture. It's the big idea saying that we need a way to measure the performance of these aircraft when it comes to them doing approaches and following routes. We need a way to actually measure this shit. So then they built RNAV. RNAV really is just using all available nav sources, whether it be GPS, VOR, DME, VOR, DME, IRSs, or INSs to figure out the aircraft's position. RMP is RNAV with a couple functional enhancements, just saying, hey, the airplane's going to tell me if things are wrong. The airplane is going to tell me if I don't have the required navigational performance for the route that I am doing. That's the big difference between PBN, RNAV, and RMP. They make us do a VOR and DME holds at our school. Okay, that's a pretty normal hold. I think if you made a ground school, you'd be very successful. Man, here's the thing. It's complicated. I have tried. I have spent hours and days and weeks and probably about a month trying to build just a private pilot ground school. It took me about 2 months to write a training course outline associated with teaching private pilot. I don't have the resources, nor the technical know-how to actually build a ground school, which is why I partner with Pilot Institute. I can recommend their ground school. I can actually recommend Pilot Institute's ground school. So that's kind of why I partner with them. Yes, I get a kickback, but I don't work with Sporties because I don't think their shit is very good. I don't work with King's School because I think their shit is dated. I don't work with ASA because I hate their training course outline. Their training course outline for private pilot is fucking ass. Right? Have a PPL check ride in a few days, then go to sleep. Eat some food, go to sleep, and relax. Any tips on holding altitude during steep turns in turbulent air? Flew yesterday and felt like it was constantly plus and minus 100. I can hold it pretty well in calm weather, scheduled for it in 3 weeks. So here's the thing, if it's super turbulent, the DP is going to recognize that. Pretty simple, right? Those minimums, like those exceedances or those limits, they're there as like, I don't want to say ground rules or guidelines, but if you exceed the aircraft's deviation, if you exceed the limitation, acknowledge it and then get the aircraft back within it. The problem is when you exceed the standards and then stay there. That's the problem. And so I've seen that one at Peace where people recommend using trim. Problem is not every aircraft trims the same way, and you could end up with an over-reliance on it. And a lot of students do this balloon shit when they do the trim because they don't push hard enough on the way back out of it. My DPE was 220 and a Cessna 150. That thing was leaning 1 week ago. You're awesome, man. Gotta say, gotta go to the sporties that you hate. Oh, well, good luck. Good luck. Got my commercial pilot end of course coming up in a few days. Any tips? Smooth out your control inputs. Calm down. No commercial maneuvers should be done quickly. All of your commercial maneuvers should be done slow, 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 slow. All of them should be done slowly. Calm down. I know you're nervous on your check ride. You're gonna be like, oh God, I'm gonna fail. Just take a breath and do the maneuvers slowly, and you'll be fine. Good questions, though. Good questions. Good questions. I love them. Right? I love that everyone's trying to learn and better themselves and become better and safer pilots. It is awesome. So congratulations to anybody who's gotten their check rides done. Good luck to anybody who's working on their check rides. But yeah, Lil Light, I really don't like sporties. I think their stuff's way too vague. The amount of like follow up I have had to do with students because of sporties is just ridiculous. I think the more you study, the less you're nervous for the check ride. Uh, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I'd say the more that you talk about it, the more that you verbalize it, the more that you recognize that you actually know it, the less nervous you are, right? I know when I was getting ready for all my check rides, I would go talk to anybody that would fucking listen about airplanes, about what I needed to do, about what the standards were, about what knowledge I needed. And by the time I got done talking to anybody and everybody that would listen, even people that wouldn't listen, I felt pretty confident. But also recognize that your instructor, how do I put this nicely, doesn't care about you. Your instructor doesn't care about your feelings. Your instructor cares about their pass rate and how much money they can make off of you. So what this means, though, is that if they have told you that you are ready for your check ride, you are ready for your check ride. Because they can't get any more money out of you, and you're not going to negatively impact their pass rate. I know that's kind of a harsh way to think of it, but your instructor doesn't give two shits about your feelings, and they don't care if you think you can pass, if it hurts your feelings if they don't sign you off. They don't care. So if you have gotten a sign off from your instructor, remember, they don't care about you, they care about their pass rate. They are confident that you are not going to negatively impact their pass rate. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And I hope it doesn't like hurt to realize that your instructor probably doesn't care. Unless your instructor is like your spouse or your dad or something like that. Obviously your dad cares about you. Obviously your instructor cares. Or obviously your significant other cares about you. It was funny. I taught my wife how to fly seaplanes, and I told her that same tip, just to mess with her. She's like, "What if I don't pass?" I was like, "Just remember, your instructor doesn't give a fuck about you." And she's like, "Shut up, you're stupid." She didn't think it was funny as I did. I thought it was fucking hilarious. She's like, "Do you think you're cute?" I'm like, "I'm fucking adorable." Yeah, but it was good. It was good. It was good. Anybody else got any questions? What are these buttons over here do? Oh, that was a highlight saved to my channel as an unlisted video up to the last 5 minutes of your stream. Huh. Hello, all about to do my check ride. Steep turns do suck, Andrew. Yeah, steep turns can be a little rough. I love doing steep turns. They're a performance maneuver. They're teaching you how to operate the aircraft at a higher performance level. Thanks for the tip. Excited to think more about what plane to fly next than my check ride. Well, what plane do you want to go fly next, Andrew? If you're training in a 150, a good transition would definitely be some kind of Piper, some kind of low wing. Tailwheel is also an option, right? If you're training in a Cessna 150, then maybe going up to a 172. A Tecnam P92. What the fuck is a Tecnam P92? No idea what a Tecnam P92 is. Am I that old? P92. Oh, it's pretty much a high wing Cessna. Yeah, I mean that's. Huh. That's cool. Do they have any on Trade-A-Plane? Let's see if there's any for sale. Ooh, they are expensive. Ooh, boy. Why so pricey? Why is it so expensive? Where in Wisconsin are you based? I fly out of Wapaka. I'm up in Door County. I'm up in Sturgeon Bay. My flight club also picked up a Savage Cub that would be great to learn in. Yeah, a Savage Cub would be nice. Go get your tail wheel endorsement. Yeah. Wapaka. Is Wapaka the one with the water runway? Or is that Wausau? It's either Wapaka or Wausau that has the water runway. I want to look at.
I want to look at seaplanes on Trader Plane. Let's look at some seaplanes, amphibious and float. Love my 1962 180 better than the Club's 172R. Well, the 180, a 180 is going to have more horsepower than a 172, isn't it? All right, so there's an Icon for sale for $254,000. I don't recommend that. IFR check ride soon. Awesome. You got any questions? Wapaka isn't far from me. I'm based out of C35. Thanks for your videos. Well, thanks for your viewership. It really does mean a lot. I am trying to make kind of a career out of content creation. I'm trying to be the seaplane version of Trent Palmer. Shawano does not have a fucking seaplane base. I hate that there's a seaplane base charted at Shawano. That fucking seaplane base doesn't exist. The water is too shallow for you to get to the land. When you do finally get to the land, they have bollards and a fence and a chain blocking you from getting to the airport. Shawano doesn't have a seaplane base. Oh, I almost got my airplane stuck in the mud trying to get to their seaplane base. I was so frustrated by that. Any good seaplanes? I'm not seeing any good seaplanes. The Grumman, the Super Widgeon is still for sale. What price range would you say first-time plane buyer should stay around as a new pilot? I don't know how much money you got. Like let's just be frank. If you can afford a Cirrus, go get a fucking Cirrus. Unless you're trying to do bush flying, unless you're trying to do like bomb and grass runways and stuff, then a Cub's not a bad option. I wouldn't recommend getting a seaplane. If you're trying to keep your insurance low, Eurocoops, Cessnas are great for keeping, Pipers are great for keeping your insurance low. They're affordable. But I mean, it really depends on the mission, right? So Summit, what's your mission? Am I a fan of the Icons at all? No, I think they're the dumbest thing. I think they're stupid. They should have left the BRS out of it. They should have left the ballistic rescue chute or the ballistic chute out of it so that they could have a useful load. Right now, the Icon has enough useful load so that you can take yourself, full fuel, and a fishing pole. Not any tackle, a fishing pole. Past the oral, had to discontinue the flight. Any advice on the flight portion? What do you mean discontinue? Did you fail? Or did you have to discontinue due to like weather? Need some insurance competition so us pilots can get seaplanes. What do you mean insurance competition? My insurance is $1,200 a year on my 180. Expect a decent starter 4-seat airplane to be around 70 to 80K. If you can get an airplane, decent 4-seater airplane for 70 to 80K, that would be alarming. Cessnas and Cherokees are fucking expensive. But you can pick up like a Mooney. Moonies are quick. They're slick though, so you can get behind them real quick. Yeah, insurance is high. I pay $3,700 a year for insurance on my lake, and my deductible is $8,500. But that's only for $88,000 of hull coverage. But there is a 1946 Grumman G44 Super Widgeon that is for sale, and I would suplex my grandma for this airplane. This thing is fucking awesome. Here, I'll show y'all. Here's the panel. There's the plane. Like, look at this thing. Oh, God. Like, this is end goal. This is like Cheese Pilot Phase 3. Once I can afford this thing, like, it was kind of funny. My wife texted me today, and she was like, hey, let's sell the house, use my parents' house as our address, and then we'll buy a Widgeon and just make videos. Nice, Wildman. I did a leg of my cross country into C35, then Juno. Oh, awesome. How long before you made money as a pilot? So once I became an instructor, I started making money. I worked with UND, so I made good money as an instructor. Service bulletin. My flight school wouldn't let me finish. Well, service bulletin, their insurance may require the service bulletin to be complied with. So that's It's not a big deal. But yeah, once I became a flight instructor, I made decent money. I made like 65K a year as a flight instructor. Um, I got all my training done in about 18 months, but I eat, slept, and breathed aviation. I didn't do anything else but aviation. Um, so, obviously there's some things there's that. Oh, this widget is so nice. But it's $344,000 or $345,000. Sorry, I lied again. $350,000. Nice. I'm about to go do drone operations while I get IFR. That's good enough. If you can get money with drone operations, go for it. I wish. I tried, once my medical thing happened, I tried to start up a drone business and I worked at it and hustled and handed out cards and did everything I could to try and get any kind of business. And I couldn't get shit. I couldn't get a damn thing. So I eventually gave up and now I use my drone for, other things. What plane, Wildman TV? What is what? Awesome. I'm a member of a flying club out of Reedsburg and decided to buy my own plane. Oh, yeah, he was the one that bought the 180, the Cherokee 180. What the fuck is that? The Rapid Launch Sportsman. What in the hell is that? That is apparently a seaplane. What the fuck? Who's getting in this? Who wants to go get their seaplane rating in this? That is insane. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want anything to do with that. It's only 12 grand though. That is insane. That is absolutely nuts. Have you found an update with the ACS and any DPEs not up to date with the new standards? No, I haven't seen any issues with that. DPEs usually they're usually pretty good. Yeah. No way that works airplane single engine C. I don't know. Would this count? Unique two-person. Oh, it's powered parachute. That's what it is. Got it from Skywagon University in California. Flew back and you're talking about your Cherokee 180. Well, that's pretty cool. There was a turbine Cessna or turbine Seawind. That was a pretty cool thing. But Seawinds, they don't really do well in any kind of rough water at all. I know there's a turbo Lake Buccaneer kicking around here somewhere on Trade a Plane. That's kind of snazzy. I wish I could get the turbo for my lake, but the kits are like 30 grand. And I don't have that. Your IFR mock check ride is insanely helpful. Thank you. Well, awesome. I'm glad that it was helpful. I wish I could do more of them, but most of the students that do IFR mock check rides with me don't want them posted, so I don't post them. So if you were concerned about that, if you were concerned about me posting a mock check ride and that's why you didn't want to schedule it, if you don't want it posted, I won't post it. I only post the ones that are okay. Did you do anything for a CFI oral yet? I have done some CFI mock check rides. I don't post them because the students aren't okay with it. The big takeaway from a lot of the ones that I have done, practice teaching. The knowledge for a lot of these people is there. They understand the material. They don't, what's the best way to put it? They don't know how to teach. They understand the material just fine. They have learned the material. As a CFI, we're not asking, do you know, or for a CFI applicant, we're not, oh damn, wrong way. We're not asking, do you know the material? We're asking, can you teach the material? Okay, that's the big takeaway. Play the role of an instructor. That's the big takeaway I can give you for your CFI check ride. Go play the role as an instructor. Hardest rating, in my opinion, well, instrument is the only thing I've ever had an unsat on. So I'd say instrument. But I don't know, like whatever. What some people struggle on instrument, some people struggle on CFI, some people struggle in private pilot. I've seen people take 2 years to accomplish private pilot, and then go and then do IFR in 2 weeks. I've seen people never get their CFI because they just can't ever figure out how to teach. I'm practicing with a fellow CA candidate. You're right. Harder. You're right. Harder than you think. Your IFR mock check rides are insanely. Oh yeah, that's what you already said. But yeah, the CFI orals. If you want some tips when it comes to the CFI check ride, go practice teaching. That is my biggest bit of advice. This tripod is not very, or this gimbal is not very smooth. I wish it was smoother. Is there a way for me to smooth this thing out? What does this do? No, that didn't do anything. What does this do? Does it work? No. I don't know what this does. This does a lot of stuff. Yeah. Either way, thank you, mate. Love your content. Well, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate y'all showing up and hanging out. Anybody else got any other questions? I mean, we've been out this for about an hour. I might hop on over to TikTok and talk to people over there. I don't know, maybe not. I get ad revenue here on YouTube. So maybe it's better for me to hang out here on YouTube because TikTok doesn't pay me shit. How long was my CFI oral? So, all right, I feel like I probably got my CFI oral a little easier.
I was already offered a job before I had ever even finished my CFI training by the flight school I was training at. And then I did my CFI check ride with the guy that offered me the job. So mine was, I think my CFI oral was like 2, maybe 3 hours. It was probably closer to the oral portion was 3, maybe 3.5. Oh, my mic just got a lot quieter. Huh. Is it still quiet? Oh, I know what happened. You're good. Did that fix it? Did that fix it? Or is it still fucked up? My noise canceling still quiet. Huh. How can I schedule a check ride without going through? How can I schedule a check ride without going through my CFI? You shouldn't really be able to. Like, why would you want to schedule a check ride without going through your CFI? That's kind of a bigger question. Why would you want to go schedule a check ride without going through your CFI? Your CFI should be. I feel like there's a lot more going on there. Is the mic still quiet? Oh, wait a minute. Did it hook up to this? Thank you, man, for what you do. You truly helped me a lot. Put my headphones in and listen to your content for hours on end. Got to check off and get to sleep. All right, man. It's good now. Oh, that's what it did. It hooked up to these headphones. That's what the problem was. We're going to use these. Can we hear now? I think I'm there. He doesn't think so. Well, your instructor knows better. Your instructor has been doing this for a lot longer than you have. So listen to your instructor. That's really my takeaway. I have never met a student that says my instructor is wrong and their instructor was actually wrong. I have taught countless students. I have
been through countless training exercises. I have picked up students from other instructors, and I have never, ever, ever, never, ever, out of almost a decade of teaching, ever had a student that was right when they said that their instructor was being too stringent or too hard on them. Has the student been right when they say that their instructor's a dick, that their instructor doesn't know how to teach, that their instructor's teaching methods doesn't mesh well with them? Yeah. See, so let's talk about the maneuvers. What are the maneuvers? At the PPL level, you shouldn't be going, I'm good enough. That is a terrifying mentality to have, that I am good enough, that I don't need to work harder, that I don't need to be better. That is a terrifying mentality to have. And you shouldn't have that mentality. If your instructor says, hey, let's work on this, let's get better, you should be like, yes, I love that. Let's get better. So what maneuvers specifically? Let's get some specifics. Let's get some nitty gritty. Let's get some specifics. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Like, what is actually going on? Like, what maneuvers are happening? What exercises are you going through? And your instructor's saying, so short field. If you're short of your point, you are wrong. That's it. Short field landings, if you are short of your point, you're wrong. It's that simple. If you are 200 feet past your point, you're wrong. It's that simple. It's written pretty plainly, black and white. If you are short of your point, you're wrong. If you are past 200 feet past your point, you're wrong. Like, you can't really argue that point. There's not really anything to argue on that point. It's one of the few maneuvers that there isn't really any wiggle room on it. There isn't really any like, oh, well, I guess you're okay. No, the standards for it are they're written very plainly. Nothing short, 200 feet past. Outside that 200 feet, you're done. Not on center line, you're done. Stalled above the runway, you're done. So if any of that stuff is happening, it's not good enough. As bad as that might sound, sorry, but what are you gonna do? To tell you what, hey, I am literally my instructor's second student. She has had no one pass so far, and yet I trust her with my life. They know what they are doing, and they would not, or they would not be doing it. Yeah. I signed up. My first 3 students that I signed off all failed. Every single one of them failed their check ride. One of them didn't even make it past the oral. That was like a really big moment for me to realize this is a bigger deal. This is a big deal. I need to get better at my job. I need to test my students better. I need to be a better instructor. My students deserve better. Aviation deserves better. Those are the only 3 students that have failed. I hate the idea of my students going off and failing check rides, because I tell students, like, if you failed a check ride, don't blame your student, or don't blame your instructor. What didn't you learn? What didn't you do? What did you do wrong? What could you do better? But I take it personally. If my students fail, I did bad at my job. All right. Maybe this is a bad question for a CFI, but what do you do to stay proficient? I continue to fly and I continue to teach. When it comes to staying proficient as an instructor, I talk to people about teaching. I talk to new CFIs. Jillian on TikTok, PIC Jillian, I text her regularly, asking her what she's doing, what she learned, what she has done while she's going through her CFI training and as a fresh CFI. I talk to new CFIs. I talk to brand new cherry ass CFIs to see, what are you doing different? What are you doing for your students? What can I take from the next generation of instructors to continue to be a good instructor? That's really what I do to stay current, to stay proficient, um, as a CFI. I also read the books. I read the books sometimes. I make videos. I make educational content. Making this content I have learned a lot. Um, yeah, and I feel like that's the best way to teach. Let's bring the knowledge to where the student is. I don't need to keep it at this high level bullshit. I don't need to gatekeep knowledge and use fancy high dollar words and be like, well, according to this peer reviewed journal, when they studied X, Y, and Z. Now, fuck that. Like, hey, you know what a stall is? When the air gets all fucky wucky on the top of the airplane because you push the angle of attack out too high. I agreed. It's on us students. I am flying way more hours now past the required ones just to be sure that I'm 200% proficient before I spend time money on a check ride. Yes. Any tips for lazy eights? Yeah, slow down. Slow down on the controls. Slow down on the controls. That is the biggest tip for all your commercial maneuvers. Also, lazy eights, you shouldn't ever be sitting still on the controls. The controls should never be stationary. I'll have to remember to use fucky wucky to describe stalls. Yeah. Obviously, that was maybe a little too Barney style. That was maybe we broke it down just a little too stupid. But you get what I'm saying, right? I was hyperbole. But yeah, I mean, it's all good. Right? I try to keep it as simple as possible because I don't. Yeah, Buffett equal fucky wucky. It's too late. Sure. He's like, did you feel that? That's the air getting all fucky wucky. It's also called a buffet. You see why we're sideways? It's because you got the ailerons all cattywampus. You got to straighten them out. Just teach your student like you're some surfer dude from California, back when California was like where people could still be like surfer dudes on the beach. Just like, yo, cowabunga, dude. Like, but let's get this not fucky wucky. Let's straighten this shit up. Just finished my PPL, used a 6-pack for all of my training. I have the option of using a G1000 versus a 6-pack for my IFR. Should I make the jump to G1000s or stay with what I know? So G1000 is going to make your instrument training easier. But flip side of that, if you ever want to buy an airplane and fly it instrument, you're not really going to know what you're doing because you're not going to be able to afford a G1000. I guess I don't know your bank account, but a G1000 is instrument rating on easy mode. It is instrument rating on straight up like you can't die Disney level easy mode. But then on the flip side, when you want to buy an airplane, if you ever do want to buy an airplane, you either are going to have to go get 6-pack IFR training or just don't fly IFR in a 6-pack. I got buddies. They are captains at major airlines. They are captains at fractional ownerships. They have money. They got good money. They don't have G1000 money, and they still won't buy an airplane because they've never flown anything that wasn't glass. They didn't get any instrument training in things that weren't glass. So they're terrified of 6-packs. So there's two sides of it. Do you want your instrument check ride to be easy? Then go with the G1000. Go get some instrument training after the fact in a 6-pack. Do you want to be really proficient with 6-pack and have a really hard check ride, but be really proficient in an airplane that you could probably afford? Go do it in the 6-pack. Everything in aviation, no answers in aviation are cut and dry other than like what causes a stall. There aren't really any cut and dry answers. They are all, it depends. Now, if you want to be a double I, if you're teaching in a G1000, go learn in the G1000 because there's a lot in the G1000 that you need to know to be a good instructor. But if you're going to be teaching in a six pack, go do your training in a six pack. It really all depends on the mission. It really all depends on the mission. Let's see if there's any other widgeons for sale. I want a widgeon. Widgeon for sale. Aircraft.com. Looks like there's a widgeon for sale. Always based in Hangar in the Northeast, used on freshwater. All original records. Oh, this listing is no longer available. Damn. Flying boats for sale. That's that Grumman. That's that Super Widgeon, Super Pestrel, Aircam. Oh, there's another widgeon that they've got. Oh, what is this one? Available as a project as finishable, flyable workhorse. Well, how much is it? What do you mean? What's wrong with it? Like, stop showing me pictures of not the widgeon. I want to see what's wrong with this widgeon. It says it's a finishable, flyable workhorse. How much is it? 18,000 total time, annual in process. That's concerning. $350,000 still. That is ridiculous. Is CFI still the best time building method? Yeah, unless you can just buy your own airplane and you can just afford gas. Yeah, opinions on Embry-Riddle? Embry-Riddle is great for... Embry-Riddle doesn't really teach decision making that well. So it's great for following the books. It's great for training you to get to the airlines. When it comes to actually being at the airlines and starting to make decisions on new airplanes, not that great. It's not that great. At least just based on my experience from what I have seen coming out of UND, from the other pilots I have worked with that have gone to, not UND, Embry-Riddle. It's also expensive. Like, it's really expensive. Oh, I want a widgeon, but they are $350,000. To do any other widgeons for sale? Grumman widgeon parts. Available widget Magnum tools 5. Oh, that's all just engine stuff. Here's another one in Washington. Ooh, this one's kind of pretty. I don't know how much it is, but I like it. I want it. I want some more of it. I tried so hard. I can't rise above it. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, Embry-Riddle's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's just their decision making isn't. They don't really teach very good decision making at all. It's not that they're teaching you to make poor decisions. They just don't teach you to make decisions. What about fast tracks like ATP? My opinion on ATP is everyone takes the same check ride. I mean, everyone takes the same check ride. Be prepared to eat, breathe, sleep, shit, shave, shower, aviation. That is the only thing. That is the only thing that you will exist for aviation. There is nothing else that will happen but aviation. And they are more than happy to kick you out of their program if you aren't up for it. If you aren't meeting the standards that they need, they are more than happy to kick you out. So, yeah, it can suck, but it can also like not be that bad. $750,000 for a widgeon, and it's oh my god! Oh, but it was also like recently restored. It only has like 900 engine hours on the engines, almost no hours on the props. Oh god! One day. But I've been out this for about an hour. My throat's a little dry. I also been teaching all day, so I think I'm gonna hop off. All of these questions, great. I love it that y'all are showing up. Make sure you drop some likes. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I do a live or post a new video, right? But yeah. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Boop.